Hey guys, this is Kate and I wanted to do a video to talk about this windy, beachy, or veggie, I don't know how it's pronounced. Can y'all see that? Yeah, there you go. Embossing paste. And if you've been watching any of the Simon Says Stamp latest Valentine's Day release videos, or Jennifer McGuire, she uses this and talks about it. And I have this one that's in the metallic gold. I've had it for a while. I've used it a couple times. I really like it. And it looks like this on the inside. It's pretty expensive though. It's like $10 for this little thing. And so I was like, you know, I bet there's like a dupe for that. So, because I really wanted the white one, because you can like mix colors in it and stuff, which I didn't think about when I got this one. I just thought, ooh, gold embossing paste, that's awesome. But I didn't think about like the versatility of a white one. So I got to experimenting last night and I came up with some different alternatives that work exactly the same as this stuff in principle, but as far as the gold goes, I couldn't really find, I found one that came close. Like, there's probably other options, but I think that you can use what I'm going to show you and not have to purchase this embossing paste. So here's kind of an example of what I did. So let me show you first the actual embossing paste. That's what this is right here, this metallic gold, and you can see that it has some like shimmer to it. And then here are 3 different ways that I tried to do my own. And the first one right here was, by the way, all 3 of these are using this modeling paste, which you can get at any art supply store. It's relatively inexpensive. Oh, and it's cheaper than that stuff. And if you use a coupon, it ends up being like $3. So, and you get a huge thing of it. So I use the modeling paste. And then the first one, which is right here, which has some nice, it's probably going to be really hard to see on camera. It does have some nice sparkle to it in person. It does not have the shine though that this does. But you could always, you know, add glossy accents or something to the mix if you wanted the shine. So I mixed the modeling paste with this Precious Metals Classic Gold leafing paint, and that worked the best. In the middle one, I mixed the Heidi Swapp Color Shine and Gold Lame. That did not really work at all. And the last one totally didn't work, and that was using Inca Gold, like the Viva Decor Inca Gold. That didn't work at all. Okay, but what worked the best was over here, where this side I used a heavy, super heavy gesso, and this is just stuff I had on hand. This is the Liquitex super heavy gesso, and you can get this at a craft store, and usually you can use a coupon on it, so it's like $5, I think. And then on this side I used this Liquitex Basics modeling paste. Now, to get the color, in both of them, put the same amount of the Mr. Huey, Studio Calico Mr. Huey and Rudolph. And what this shows you is that obviously the modeling paste takes the color a lot better than the gesso. So if you're going to mix colors, then you want to go, and you're using modeling paste, you want to go really easy on the color. And if you're using gesso, you can be a little bit more liberal. So I'm going to real quick show you how I do this. Give you like a quick little demonstration. So first thing I'm going to start by doing is picking a mask to use, and I wanted to show you really quick how I keep my masks. I just use these different size page protectors, which if you do Project Life you probably have on hand. This is like an 8x8 size, and then this is a pocket that has all 4x6, and I just put a piece of craft paper in there, and just, you know, this is a 6x12 for the longer ones. And then these are 6x6. These are 4x4. And they have all my little, they're probably hard to see, ones in there. And then again, like these are the Heidi Swapp 6x6 stencils. They fit perfectly. And then I have a couple of 12x12. So these are all of my stencils. And some of them are front and back and some of them aren't. I just, you know, I don't know if you can see that. But anyways, and then in the back here I just have like things, like I cut this out of with my Cameo, and that's a good like template to use on a background paper. It's just out of craft paper, but you can use it as a stencil too. So, and I just put some binder like clips on it to keep it all secure. You could put it like into an actual binder if you wanted to. I just haven't done that yet. Okay, So what you will need is a piece of white cardstock and some of these, they're tongue depressors basically. I think they call them craft sticks. I don't know, you can get them at Michael's and stuff, but you can also get them at the Dollar Tree and they're way less expensive there. So that's what I do. So I just have a few here. You can use a paper plate. I happen to have this little like art tray, but a paper plate works just fine. And then I like to use washi tape, and I just like designate a roll that I don't think I'm going to use or that I have doubles of. And I just finished my last one that I use for like holding down dies and things like that. And so it's this cork one from Studio Calico. And then you're going to need your super heavy gesso or modeling paste. You can use whichever one. Both of them dried overnight. And I would say that the modeling paste is a lot stronger, like sturdier, and also you can see that you might be able to see that the gesso went out of the like stencil a tiny bit, and the modeling paste didn't at all because it's thicker. So I'm going to use the modeling paste. It is harder to mix. I'm going to show you both, but actually I'll just show you both. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to adhere your stencil to your pattern, to your paper. This is the Falling Snow stencil from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm just going to take some washi tape, and the key to this is making sure, and I know it seems like excessive, but you want to make sure that this thing is not going anywhere. So I just take like a whole strip and run it along, and it is wasteful because you're not gonna be able to reuse this tape. But I mean, if you have a lot of tape, it works. I mean, it's fine. But if you don't want to like not use this much tape, you don't have to. It's just, you really need to keep your stencil from moving at all. This one happens to be like really flat, but a lot of my stencils aren't. They're kind of bowed a little bit, so it's particularly important in that case. And I would not recommend, let me say this real quick. There are certain kinds of stencils that I would not recommend for this technique unless you want the modeling paste all over your project. So like this kind is perfect because the area that you're going to put the color in, it has like a border around it. Whereas, for instance, this type of stencil, let me pull it out so you can see it. This type of stencil, can you see that? Would be very, very difficult because it doesn't have like a defined edge on it. And that will make more sense as I start to do it, but just trust me because it would get everywhere, like all over the edges, and you wouldn't be really able to tape it down because then there would be like gaps where the tape was. Okay, so I have my stencil secure. I'm going to take some of this modeling paste and I'm also going to take some of this super heavy liquid or gesso. I wouldn't recommend using regular gesso because I think it's too runny and it would run all underneath the edges of your stencil. So I'm just going to take some of that. And then this time I'm going to use this Neon Mini Mister in My Little Pony is the name of the color. It's like a neon pink. And I'm just going to put like 2 drops in that one, 1 in that one, because I want to do kind of like an ombre thing, and like 4 in the gesso one, because if you'll remember, it doesn't take the color as well as the modeling paste. Okay. adding some of the Mr. Huey's in Rudolph, the red color, to this because this gesso was just like not taking the neon Mr. Huey at all. So I don't know why. And it took a lot more on this. Like literally I put 1 drop of the other. I guess because it just wasn't as concentrated of a color. Okay, so now that I have my colors mixed, I'm going to start with the modeling paste because I feel like since it's drier, it might dry faster. And what you're going to do is there's probably all different kinds of tools you can use for this. You can use like a palette knife type thing. Like here's some plastic ones. They make nicer ones than that. But I just used this stick that I used to mix. So now that I'm finished with that, what I'm going to do is take off the wash, and then I'm going to very carefully lift off my mask. How cool is that? And you want to immediately, if nothing else, wipe it down with the baby wipe, but you really want to go and run it under or dip it into some warm water because this stuff will stick and adhere and make a holy mess on your stencil if you don't clean it up like right away. So I'm just gonna, at the very least right this second, wipe this down, and then as soon as I'm done filming this, I'm gonna go wash it because I do not want it to get caked on there. But it comes off, you know, super easy. Okay, so I'm going to pick this up and show you. The cool thing about this, and what makes it different than like regular embossing or just taking an ink pad and going over the stencil, which you could totally do if you just wanted to get color, but this gives you dimension, and I'm thinking you can see that, which is what makes it totally awesome, especially like on the snow one, is that it gives you that. They basically look like little enamel dots. So the thicker you put it on, the more dimension you're going to have. And you want to make sure to spread it really smoothly so that you don't, so you get like nice smooth tops on it. Okay, I'm going to do one more example, and I'm going to just use the modeling paste because that's what I prefer. And I personally think it takes the color the best. So I'm just going to get another color of actually I'm going to try it with an October Afternoon Sprinkler because I haven't tried that yet. So I'm going to try it with that. And I'm just going to mix it on a piece of cardstock because I feel like that's going to be easier. Because that's kind of small. Okay. So I'm just going to take some of the modeling paste. Kind of mix this up. And I'm sure that you could use like acrylic paint. I didn't think about that. I'm pretty positive you could use acrylic paint. And that might be what you need to mix a gold. This is probably not going to mix very well on paper, but we're going to try it anyways. So you can definitely mix it with a October Afternoon Sprinkler. You can pretty much use anything. Oh, I bet it would work really well with like re-inkers too. Because like distress ink re-inkers or any kind of re-inker. See, this is like really opaque and has a lot of like white in it. So you're not going to get as vibrant of a color as you would with a Mr. Huey. Like, for example. Here I have a Mr. Huey in Seafoam. I bet you are going to get a much more vibrant color because it doesn't have that. Well, most of the Mr. Huey went into the paper. So this probably wasn't my best laid plan to do it on paper, but you know, hey. We'll make it work. Okay, so you see how thick that is? It's a lot thicker than the gesso, which is why I like to work with it, but I find it easier to work with. So here I'm just going to spread this. And I like it to be thin because I like the it to be flat, you know, on the top. But if you didn't care about that and you wanted it kind of like more dimensional, then you could just not smooth it out and make it really thick. So one really fun technique with this, especially when you're using, you know, the white based, is that you could do a total ombre like effect, especially on a stencil like this, which would be really fun. So you could start with like a light color and then progressively get darker, which I think would look super cool. And these are, I like this technique a lot for cards. I think it's a lot of fun to add dimension. And probably another way that I would use it is on a layout, but just like in a corner or something, to add some texture, like kind of where you would like mist a masked off area, you know, not your entire background, although you could, but I think it would just be a lot of fun to do it like kind of, you know, if this was your layout, to do it like over here in the corner, just a couple of rows of it would look really cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna peel off this washi tape. This one I have like super secured because this stencil actually bows. Like it's got a weird something happened to it. Oh, that looks so awesome. It kind of looks ombre. Can you see that? That looks very cool. So, who needs embossing, special $10 embossing paste when you can use modeling paste or your super heavy gesso and some of your Mr. Hueys and things that you already have on hand. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little tutorial about a dupe, and if you have any other, like any dupes that you'd like to share, then leave a comment below, or you can go over to my Facebook page and post a video or leave a message or whatever. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see you real soon.